Next, we were challenged to think about what we had seen. Border Links had us do an immigration simulation. It wasn't a game, but a way of helping us understand the part of the immigration experience that not everyone sees. Some of us were assigned to family groups. Others were coyotes, offering to bring us across the border for a price, of course. Still others were landowners and business people who sought to profit from our situation. And then some of us belonged to the Border Patrol.
The simulation was a good activity to see some of the thought that goes into immigration. I was a maquiladora owner who made people work. The wages I gave were unfair, but I feel that is the way that it is, and that is the way that Mexican workers are often treated. The hardest moment I faced was when I had to fire this old woman who was working just to try and help make money for her family.
Aiden Coleman writes, I thought that doing the highs and lows today was really good for our group. It showed how we were all dealing with what we learned during the week and some of the really cool experiences we also had. For me, the immigration simulation was really educational. But it made me feel bad having fun during it because people actually have to go through that every day in Mexico. It gave me good insight into people's lives.
We just did the border crossing simulation. I was in the Valencia family. In this simulation, I learned what sort of desperation people were in who wanted to cross the border to the U.S. However, the Valencia family stumbled upon a bit of luck, and we were able to do just fine and make a lot of money. Though, in doing the simulation, we learned about what sorts of problems the immigrants face. I learned that crossing the border involves a lot more than just hiking across a desert.
After finishing the illegal immigration simulation, I'm so thankful I live in America. It was frustrating to fill cups with one bean at a time, only to have the landlord, Matt Dickinson, plant bad beans in the cups so he didn't have to pay me as much. When Leighton and I decided to escape to America, it went better for a while until the border control people caught us. Even though there were no actual consequences for running away, I still felt hesitant to risk that. I felt a little bit of the fear that immigrants must feel every day.
Kelsey Woodward writes, the simulation was a very interesting experience. I liked having power as a U.S. employer, but I also felt a little guilty making people do stupid jobs for a ridiculous low amount of money. But it was good to see this is how it might really work.
The jobs were hard and didn't pay much, and all of the essentials were too expensive. The unexplained discrimination and hazing against my family didn't make it any more enjoyable. I enjoyed the challenge, though, and I thought that it outlined the difficulties of migrating, and it helped me to empathize with the immigrants.
I was the banker for the simulation. I made quite a bit of money by doing very little. There were a lot of people who came in, and all of the money that they'd managed to gather over the previous month of the game was not even enough to pay off the interest on their loan. So at the end of the game, I was feeling a little bad about that, so I forgave a couple small loans, but I don't think that happens in real life.
I was in the Vega family, and I feel like my family and me specifically got special treatment. When I was in America, every time there was a raid, I didn't get caught because my employer and landlord both told the Border Patrol and ICE that I was okay to be there. Also, my employer and landlord gave me money when I needed it, not as a loan, they just gave it to me.